Jill, let's talk about the similarities between today and 1991, what was going on with Anita Hill and Clarence Thomas. Three of the same Republican lawmakers that were on the committee back then are on the Judicial Committee again. Senator Patrick Leahy, who did not vote to confirm Clarence Thomas, but then Orrin Hatch and Chuck Grassley, who did. I do want to play for you, just go back in time for a moment and listen to the way Orrin Hatch was talking about Anita Hill while she was alleging inappropriate conduct by Clarence Thomas, and what he is now saying about Brett Kavanaugh's accuser.
Senator, her testimony, she seems very credible, highly intelligent. It didn't plant any seed of doubt in your mind?
Yes, there were lots of seeds of doubt in my mind from her testimony.
About Clarence Thomas?
No, I know Clarence Thomas. I've known him for 11 years.
Do you think that this in any way is going to derail his nomination?
No, he's a straight shooting, honest guy. I think when people listen to him, they'll know that he's all right.
And I'm not opposed to Anita Hill. I think it's apparent that she believes what she's saying.
Do you think that any of these claims are legitimate?
No, I don't. I think this woman, or whoever she is mixed up.
Sounds pretty similar back then to today, Jill.
It does. It sounds woefully similar. And Orrin Hatch was part of a very determined, back then, Republican minority of senators who just, from the moment Anita Hill began to testify, and I was sitting right in that hearing room in 1991, and, I mean, they hurled everything they could at her to destroy her credibility. Orrin Hatch sent lawyers who work for him on the Judiciary Committee into the bowels of the D.C. libraries to come up with passages from The Exorcist that he claimed Anita Hill had plagiarized from. She was a fantasizer and worse. And it was really a disgusting display of the lowest political tactics. And just hearing Senator Hatch say that woman almost sent chills down my spine, and it makes you have to think, yes, we're now in the so-called Me Too moment. We have 23 women senators now. There were only 2 back in 1991 during the Hill-Thomas hearings. But these hearings, if they happen on Monday, huge test for the Senate Judiciary Committee, and whether, they can have a fair process. Anita Hill herself has called for a fair process and a thorough investigation. But the Judiciary Committee is not an investigative body. It's a political body. And while the president may be somewhat restrained in his approach so far, there are conservative Republicans who are determined to do whatever it takes to muscle through this judicial confirmation for Brett Kavanaugh. And I worry about what Dr. Ford is going to face when she walks into the hearing room.
Well, let's talk about the makeup of Congress. You said there were only 2 women senators back in 1991, none of whom were on the Judicial Committee back when Anita Hill was testifying. Now,
no, it was all white men.
It was all white men. And on the Republican side, today in 2018, it is all white men. Again, there are no women on the Judiciary Committee.